Okay, my outstanding friends, this is really good. Michael Tellinger and I have had some conversations, and he just put up this video of one that we had a few months back. And what I'd like you to do is go up and watch this video completely, because I'm just going to show you a couple little clips from it. But he has a very, very active mind, and I do too. So I would love to have a lot more conversations with him, and he appears to be receptive to that as well. He is very involved in humanitarian type of activities right now, this one small town. We'll talk about that too as well, if I can get some of his attention. What I'd like you to do is go up to watch this on his site. Thank him, please, for allowing me to discuss things with him and him putting it out into his audience that we are doing these discussions together. I'd love to. He's the kind of guy that has questions. He's got answers too, but he's got questions. That's the problem. People don't even want to have any questions. I never had one single question from academia. Zero. About any of my research. Not one. So you got to get outside of that academic realm into people like Michael that is really interested in a deep understanding of something with an open mind. Like in this video, you'll see, he says, 10 years ago, my mind was this wide. Now it's this wide. Now I got that wide. Now it's like wide, wide, wide. Because you got to be. There's so many people that they are so narrow in their mind that whatever's out here, forget about it. Never going to be in here. No. Well, Michael's got an open mind. And if you don't have that, you might as well forget it. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick brief of what hopefully we'll be doing in the future. Okay, this is Michael Tellinger. Most of you people, I'm sure, know who Michael is. I talk with him on and off, and we did a thing a while back about just a general discussion, but it started out with mudfossils and so forth, and he put a video up about it, and it's called Mudfossils with Roger Spurr. Now, he's got mud space fossils. Most of you understand it's all one word, mudfossils, but he's got it under this tag here up on YouTube. It's a YouTube video, Michael Tellinger, Mudfossils with Roger Spurr. I want you to come up here and thank him for doing this, for trying to get this word out. He's got a good following, and he's got people that are very interested. He's got a museum going. He's a humanitarian guy. We got a lot of understanding between Michael and myself. We've talked about virtually everything, physics and, the whole 9 yards. So he's going to, let me just play this introduction because just to give you an idea of how he feels about me and I feel about him. He's a real good guy. He's got an open mind. And anyway, here goes.
Actually brings us to a very nice little intersection where I would like to segue back to one of your favorite specialities, and those are the mud fossils and the fossils, ancient civilizations, floods, etc., etc. Which
it's a wormhole, man. You just never end.
It never ends. But that's what I think people love you for that, and you really became highly loved and regarded because of your work and your discoveries in mud fossils. And you're the guy that got me started, and you're the guy that got me to recognize my mud fossils here, that then led to this explosion of finding fossils everywhere. Now my museum is overflowing with fossils. I've stopped picking them up because there's just too many.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. You can't, literally, and I'm not kidding you. I know it sounds insane, but my claim is that I have not found a rock that was a complete rock that was not a body part of some sort. All right, there is eroded rocks, which is from mud and clay and all that, but all that is eroded flesh. There's body parts all over that we can't explain. Nobody can explain them, so they won't talk about them. They now have, Yale has agreed there was a great global flood, one layer, they call it the Etacarta layer. All it is the one great flood layer. And they say it happened fast, precipitation, global, worldwide, led to perfectly preserved biota. Biota just means plants and creatures. And all the creatures, it's a perfectly preserved bodies of the creatures, which is, that's a goose. This is feathers. Now, this was never accepted until I brought it out and had my DNA tests on and CAT scans and all that stuff. Michael was one of the few people that was even willing to engage or even talk about it. Even all these other guys, all these people say, oh, talk to this guy, talk to that guy, he's into this. They won't talk. None of them. Because they have already made claims and declarations about how big the giants were or this and that. Michael has a mind that is allowed to is flexible. He's not fixed. Like he said to me, or I think even in this video he talks about how his mind is expanding. Like it was this big when he started. He said, no, they got to be 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall, something like that. And then he said, well, and all of a sudden he's up with me, which there is no limit. There's really no limit to the size of these creatures. If you know Typhon in the desert in North Africa, he wasn't a human, but he was a hybrid. 1,100 miles long. And there's no question about that. No question. He was even on the maps. They had him on the maps from 1375. So Michael and I are going to do a lot of talking about all of this crazy stuff nobody else to talk about. Now, I am willing to talk to virtually anybody about something in reality, yes, that we can present material evidence for. That's why I want to talk to him about stone circles. I know what they are. I'm almost 100% sure. Now, I'd like to see what his take is, because every time I talk to him, we get to the stone circles, and he wants to talk about physics or something else. Michael, next time it's going to be the stone circles, buddy. All right, so here we go. I don't really see much more reason to go any further with this. I just want you to know, go up and just watch Michael's video about this. He's just a nice guy to watch. He's very entertaining. He's very, he's endearing. And he's got a very active, receptive mind. Now, he's talking about remote viewing and so forth, which, from what he's saying, I can't discount it. I never gave it much consideration. But, from what he's saying, I can't discount it. From what he just claimed in this video, you're going to see it. I hope you watch it. Because, like I say, he's a good guy, and we want to help him, and we want to get help from him. We need this information distributed so that it's accepted to speak about it. Right now, you talk about this if you go to school and you talk about this to your professors or anybody, and you get they tag you as being a wacko for listening to this. You're done. And they say, I just had one professor from Rice University talking about the creation of all this stuff. I said, let's talk about the creation. I have some of the, none of that stuff, not for me. No. And he wouldn't talk to me. None of them will. Yale, none of them. Harvard, forget about it. University, forget about it. It's just, that is a rabbit hole that it's not one I want to go down. I've been down there so many times. And, all I can tell you is, if you believe what you're being told in these higher education places, talk to me. And let's discuss what you're being told. All right? That's all I'm asking you. You may have, exactly, they may be perfect. Everything they're telling you is true. But I have another story to tell. And if you don't listen, then you're like this, where Michael was 20 years ago. Or like this, where most people are. And they can't get away from that. You got to go wide. If you can't see what I'm showing and the things that I'm showing you, you got an issue with your mind, my friends. And I've been saying that over and over, and now it's starting to take hold. People are understanding this. What we have been, the realm we live in, is not the real realm of existence. The real realm of existence, what they thought was just mythology and cartoons to scare kids into going working in the fields or whatever. I don't know what they thought. But I can tell you one thing right now, is my material evidence and his material evidence, and many, many, many others right now who are afraid to talk. He's at least talking. And the reason is because he's got his own museum, he's got his own life going on. He doesn't have to kneel down to these professors and kiss their ring so he can get his diploma. And that's all it's about now. If I give you a piece of paper, you can go work. Otherwise, you're heading for the fields. Oh, by the way, that piece of paper is going to cost you $50,000, $100,000. And then you're going to work for me anyway, because you're going to have to pay me back or pay somebody. All right, that's the problem we're running into right now. Again, the rabbit hole. I'm back in the rabbit hole. I can't get out, man. Okay, I'm going to leave it at this for today. I just wanted you to know this is what we're going to be doing. I'm hoping to get as many experts as I can. I consider Michael an expert. I have Jim Bolin, who was with the Army Corps of Engineers, and he is a geologist who was a high-level geologist. I have another guy that's in a university teaching honors programs to disabled vets. I have dozens and dozens of people now over the course of the years that I consider to be some of the top experts in the world, because these are the people that have open minds. Nobody talks to me unless they have an open mind. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you. And the ones that don't have an open mind, they're nothing but academic drones. All they do is say, you tell me what to say, I will say it, give me a paycheck, I'll go home, everybody will think I'm a hero. It's the way it works. Only people who are going to make it through this thing are people with an open mind. You keep repeating what you're told and not allowing yourself to explore and think and search. You're doomed. That's my last word on that one. So stick around. I'm going to go right into the ancient texts. I'm going to go right to Revelations and the Bible and Apollodorus and Hesiod and Ovid and Plato and Herodotus. You name them, we're going to do it. Josephus. They all had something to say. And they weren't writing just comic book stories. These were things that were either passed down or they directly witnessed. But the things that were passed down, and especially Typhon, seals the deal for me. All right, I have the evidence to support the things that were said. So, taking it from that perspective, then you can let your mind roam. Because it's going to have to be wide open on that prairie, my friend, because it's hard to believe the things that I've shown. I mean, they're almost impossible. Wait till I show Michael's stuff, his stone circles. That's really what I want to show a lot of. Well, I want to talk to him a lot about it. And I've been trying to get him to talk to me about it. Anyway, we're going to talk about it. So, all I can say is stick around and keep your mind open. Because if it's closed, you are doomed in my videos. Absolutely doomed.